Imagine having a rain cloud over your head, and all you want to do is for it to go away, and you want it to go away forever. Throughout discussions of mental health, a rain cloud is considered a metaphor to describe one person's depression, anxiety, PTSD, anything else that someone may suffer from. This is why I believe mental health education should be mandatory in every school. People across the nation feel like they have no place to go to, have no one to talk to, and tell them how they feel about anything. A safe space is what needs to be provided for many students today. So the question I have for you today is, should mental health education be mandatory in schools? According to Mount Vernon Nazarene University, in 2022, a study showed that 52% of college students stated that they have experienced moderate to psychological stress. And also 25% of those students expressed that they had serious psychological stress. And also 55% of those students were actually considering dropping out of school. We all know a loved one or a friend who have shared their mental health. But this is why I decided to study psychology. I want to be one of those people who wants to help, who needs to help. I want to be there for any children, for all children. I want to be able to give a voice to them, a voice that they feel that they cannot say or they feel like it's not being heard enough. But the importance of education, everyone plays a part. One, you have to remember it could save a life. Two, just listening to somebody helps more than you could ever imagine. But first, I would like to discuss with you is the early childhood and their mental health. So do you think mental health care starts early for a child? Well, according to psychologist Lori Phillips, has said the importance for families, is to focus on the mental health from an early on in child's life. Mental health education should start and should be introduced in elementary schools. It is important to build a healthy understanding of what mental health is. According to the CDC's collected data in 2021 from the Youth Risk Behavior, more than 22% reported students they have considered attempting suicide, and 10% of those students reported actually attempted suicide. Let's think about those numbers. Unfortunately, this data did not give us the age range from this, but those are scary numbers to think about. And 2021 was not that long ago. It seems like it's that long ago, but it's really not. And it makes you wonder, what exactly is mental health for these kids today? So far I've covered about early childhood, but let's talk about the teens. Why should mental health care be even more crucial at the times during this time? I believe it has to do with the fact that there are so many millions of children who suffer from mental illness issues stemming from not just anxiety, not just from depression, but also there's behavioral disorders as well. You also have to think about too is that today's an age, there is also cyberbullying. There's too many things that actually could bring a child into a realm of loneliness. And with that, who do they go to? Where exactly is it where they feel like it's okay to talk about certain feelings that they feel? So let's start at elementary. Let's build a healthy foundation, a healthy understanding of what mental health is. According to the UTMB.edu of mental health problems on the rise of today's teens, it was written by Sally Robinson on October 15th of 2024. It is stated that suicide are on the rise, leading cases starting at the age of 10 years old or more. That means that 9 out of 10 teens who die by suicide are struggling with mental health conditions that either they are unaware about or they're not educated enough about. So the question remains, should mental health education be mandatory? According to the CDC.gov says, taking care of your health also means taking care of your mental health. So unfortunately, even though that there are services available, there's still a gray area. I realize and I believe that it's not all advocated enough to inform parents enough as well regarding services that certain schools do offer, or many schools actually do offer as well. According to the Manny.org says that school bases mental health services are developed by trained mental health professionals such as psychiatrists, nurses, and school counselors. But the question remains, is that still enough? What more needs to be done? Or is it already done enough? Do we really know where that line is really drawn? So where do you go for information? How do you make mental health more aware to others? And how can you help? One thing that you could do is be involved in your child's school. Talk to your children. Make them aware of certain things, and certain feelings are okay to feel. Overwhelming today is just very overwhelming for anybody. Join the PTA. Like I said, get involved in your schools. Research your local areas. Basically, know where there are services available for you. Schools do play a vital role in our child's mental health. We can invest our time for more that is who are in need. And also, too, don't be afraid to ask questions. Tell your children to ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. So I hope today that I gave you something to discuss and gave you something to think about. Is mental health mandatory for here in schools or for schools everywhere? Thank you.